start. There we go.
Yeah. Okay, before we start the class, let me show you what we are going to do today. Please turn on the camera because today we have the special guest from USA in Texas. We are going to do a speaking activity. Actually, today some of you are going to present about your presentation, but today we skip that. Maybe we can do it next week. Yeah, I'm really sorry. Today we have the interview or something related. The topic topic is going to presented by Sir Nathan. Let me show you first the learning objectives for us for today. Okay, wait. Oh, wait. Okay, okay, Anthony's turn. Can you see the slide? Yeah.
I can see it.
Okay. A learning objective in this part of this today's meeting. By exploring and being engaged in this topic, the students are expected to have knowledge about the spaceships. Yeah, something related to this one. So today our guest teacher, Sir Nathan, maybe later on, Sir Nathan will introduce himself before we're going to start the topics. And this is the guideline questions. Yeah, these questions are going to be asked by Sir Nathan to all of you based on his chance to point you. So everyone's in this Zoom meeting, please get ready about these questions. The first question is, yeah, maybe you are going to tell about yourself. And the second one, did you know that NASA was planning to send astronauts to the moon? Yeah. Joanna, maybe you can capture this question and then you may share into your classroom. And number three, what do you think about it? And number four, where do you see humanity in 500 years? And number five, do you think we will forever, be the Earth centered, or do you think at some point Earth will just be one of the many places that the human being, And the last, this is if you were of an affordable, would you go into this page? Yeah. So those kind of questions, are going to be asked to you by Sir Nathan. But before we start this our morning meetings, I give the time for Sir Nathan to introduce yourself.
Well,
Go ahead.
thank you very much, Johnny. Well, it's a pleasure and an honor to get to see all of y'all. And I'm so glad to actually get to meet you. You're just waking up for the day, and I'm just about to go to sleep because I'm over here in Texas, and it is just 12 hours ahead of time. So I think it's like 7:12 a.m. Tuesday morning for you. It's 7:12 p.m. for me. I live in Houston, Texas. I work from home. I did that even before the pandemic. And I work for a software company. I help our customers with their products. And I'm married. I have two children, both of which one has graduated from college. The other one is just starting college. And one of my hobbies is learning about space and space exploration. And about 3 years ago, or 2 years ago, whenever I learned that NASA, which is the National National Aeronautical and Space Administration, it's the part of the U.S. government that actually launches astronauts into space and sends probes to Mars and studies how planes can fly better. Was planning to actually send astronauts to the moon in 2024 for the first time since 1972. I was born in 1975, so I missed the last time that the people were on the moon by 3 years. So I was really excited about this, and I started a project of interviewing a person a day called Countdown to the Moon. And I got to interview your instructor, Johnny, a couple of days ago. And we were talking and thinking that maybe this would be a good opportunity to talk to you as well and see what you think and what kind of questions you might have.
Okay, good. Thank you so much. So, based on the questions from the guidelines, yeah, this morning you are able to explore what you have in your mind, my lovely students. So, don't be as don't be shy, or don't be get nervous to explore about your opinion about the questions. So, yeah, I give you your time to have, yeah, to point. This Sir Nathan, the leader of this class is Joanna. Yeah, Joanna is the captain of this class. So you make an maybe you give her a good first chance to deliver or something. Yeah, Joanna. Okay, Joanna, are you okay, right, Joanna?
Is it okay?
Okay.
Yes,
Okay, Sir Nathan, go ahead.
Okay, well, Joanna, why don't I start with you? Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
okay. Hi, Sir Nathan. I'm Joanna. My long name is Joanna Veronica Angeli. I born in Jakarta in February 6th, 2006. Um, I already learning in Permai since my first grade. My hobbies, I like to make something like small things with clay or just reading some books. Yeah, that's it.
What kind of books do you read?
Some kind of novel with mystery thriller, not really thriller, but like mystery drama genre.
Oh, that's awesome. Um, let's see. Have you read any Sherlock Holmes?
Oh
If you like
no,
mystery.
I'm not really interested in a long serial. So yeah.
Okay. Um, well, did you know that NASA, the U.S. Space Agency, was planning to send people to the moon in 2024?
I don't know the exact year, but I ever heard about sending people to the moon.
And what do you think about it?
Um, that's really interesting, sending people to the moon. Like, but uh, but I was just thinking about like what it was used for, why they sending people to the moon. Yeah.
Well, I do think people will forever be just on the Earth, or do you think at some point people will actually go out into the rest of the solar system and live like on the moon, or Earth's moon to be more precise, or and Mars and the moons of Jupiter and the moons of Saturn and create like big orbital facilities in space? Or do you think we'll forever just be only on the Earth?
I think no, of course no. People is a creature that always want to become more, right? So there's a lot of possibility that people going to make their way to go outside, even like they're not an astronaut, they're only a commoner people. So yeah, that could be possible.
And do you think you're going to see some of that in your lifetime, or you think it's going to be much further in the future?
Uh, I don't know. Yeah, maybe yes, maybe no. I don't really know.
That's a key.
And if it was safe and affordable, would you go to space?
No.
No. Do you
I
fly
don't
on
like being
airplanes?
honored. Huh?
Do you fly on airplanes?
No, just I don't think I'm just I wanted to. Like I think I'm better being honored.
Well, did you have any questions for me?
um, if you are have that what is say kesempatan apa sih sir?
Opportunities.
if you have that opportunity, kid, will you go to the moon or other planets?
Whenever I first started this project, I would have told you yes. But after interviewing 600 people and after the COVID lockdowns and all those things, now I'm not so sure. I feel a little bit more scared than I was before.
Yeah,
Uh,
because we doesn't know what's outside.
yeah, maybe a whole bunch of people need to go first. I need to know it's safe.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Well, Joanna, I think since I don't know any of the class, I thought we could kind of do this thing sort of like catch, where one person has the ball and they throw it to somebody else, and then somebody else throws it. So how about you pick the next student, then we'll have them pick the next student, then have them pick the next student until we run out of
That's
time.
good. You are great,
Oh,
Nathan.
yeah. So I'm gonna choose one student, yeah, right?
Mhm. Just one.
Erin. Okay.
Okay.
Artist.
Eric.
Hi.
Hi, Aaron. Hi.
Hi.
It's such a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah,
So can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
like my hobbies or something else.
Your hobbies, favorite food, your all
Okay.
that type of thing.
My name is Erin. I love to go cycling around my komplek namanya apa ya, sir?
My housing
Ko-
housing complex. Housing complex. Housing complex. Housing.
I love to go cycling around my housing complex.
Good,
And
Eric.
currently, I am learning Korean, the Korean language.
Ah,
And I am pretty scared right now because I'm afraid I'm going to say something wrong. So,
Well, you
that's it.
sound amazing. So your English
Oh,
is
thank you.
fantastic.
yes, you
But
can say
so you're learning Korean. I just watched a Korean
movie.
series. You have any guesses on which
Squid
series it
Game?
was? Yes,
Squid Game. Yep, of course.
absolutely. I and sadly, I have to tell you that's what I got for my Halloween costume. It's
Oh,
a Squid Game guard, but I'm not sure it's gonna get here in
oh.
time, so maybe it have to be next year, and then nobody will know what it was.
Okay.
So Aaron, if you could go to space, would you?
Well, no.
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 Like, what's the most adventurous thing you would consider doing? Like, climbing a mountain or going scuba diving underneath the water or um, on a bicycle trip
I
across Europe? Like,
no, that's no way. I don't have the money to expense. I am. I'm not really into that kind of sort of things. I'm just a chill little girl, so
a lot of exciting things in your future and everybody else's future. So I think you'll be surprised at all the places you'll get to go.
mhm.
Oh, well, Aaron, did you have any questions for me?
yes, of
What?
course. Say yes. Yeah, Eric. Say yes. I did.
Yes. What do you think about people who thinks that there are aliens in the like other planet?
Yeah. Well, space is extremely big. If you look up at the sky, you see billions and billions of stars. And around every single of those stars, there are many planets. And it's hard to imagine that there's all this space out there in all these different places, and that life only appeared in one little bitty corner of this entire gigantic cosmos. So I don't, I have not seen any proof that there's aliens, and I think we would need a lot of proof um, to think that. But on the other hand, there's more I don't know than that I do know. So I'm a little hesitant to say some things are impossible. Well, Aaron, could you choose one of your classmates?
Kinara.
Oh.
Kanara,
Okay, Nara.
hello. So
Hello.
tell me a little bit about yourself.
Um, my name is Kenara. My full name is Kenara Aislinopelia. It's not a common name. Uh, I am 15 years old. My birthday is 14 June 2006.
June.
I don't know what else to say.
Okay, I can ask you some questions about yourself. Would you prefer to jump rope or to yo-yo?
Mm, jump rope.
And why?
I, I never touched a yo-yo, so I never experienced this.
And would you prefer a dog or a cat?
A dog, because I already have 2 dogs in my house.
And would you prefer to go on a trip by the air or a trip by the sea?
Air.
That's awesome. And if you would prefer to go on a trip by the air, would you like to go above the air and maybe at some point take a trip to space?
No, it's scary out in space.
Now, what's most scary about it? That it's so big or something else?
Yes, it's big, like it has no end to it. It's just a void.
And can I ask you a question? I meant to ask this of Joanna and Aaron, but how long have you all been studying English?
All my life.
All your life?
All-
Oh, wow. Because you are really good at it. So I took Spanish in high school, only 2 years, and I could barely speak anything. So I'm just like really blown away by how much y'all can say. Well, Kanara, any questions for me?
Um,
Just ask something about Texas or something about yeah, general knowledge, no worries. Yeah. The main point is Kinara passed one question to Sir Nathan. Yeah. That's the way you communicate, yeah, with the native.
So I have something very surprising to show you. What do you make of this?
I'm sorry.
I said, what do you see me holding? Like, what is this? I could bring it a little closer.
Yeah.
A cow.
Yes, we had this thing called a cow parade about 15 years ago, where all these art students were challenged to paint a different cow. And so we have like an Elvis cow, a moon cow, astronaut cow, and we have like maybe a 50 different cows all throughout the city, like life size. Like this is just a little model of one, but we have one of these in our airport that's like twice as tall as I am. So it's um, kind of funny, but yeah. Oh, and this is the flag of the state that I'm in. Every state in the United States has a different flag, and this is the one for Texas. And the part of NASA that talks to the astronaut is here in Houston. So whenever they're talking to the astronauts call down and say, Houston, um, you know, uh, so it's just kind of neat to be here. But yeah, ask me a question, anything about any topic.
Okay. Okay, Nara.
I'm actually quite curious at the reason of why people would go to the moon.
Yeah. So there are these things that we need. There's lots of reasons to go into space and go to the moon. One reason is for resources. So there's these things called rare earth metals that are actually not from Earth at all. They're actually from meteors that come from space and hit the ground, and then they get buried, and we dig them up and we use them in our electronics. Well, those same meteors have been hitting the moon too, and we think there may be lots of resources on the moon that we can go and use to help build like microchips and computers and other things. So a lot of things that may be rare now may actually be in a lot of abundance in asteroids and in meteors on the moon and things like that. The second thing is there's a lot of power in space. If you consider the sun is emitting energy in all its directions, and only a little bit of that falls on the earth. And the proportion of the amount of energy that the sun is emitting compared to the amount that's falling on the earth is like 1 to 700 billion. So it's possible to capture more of that energy, and we could do more things like manufacturing, information processing, and things like that. And then I'm actually reading a book right now. It's called Lucifer's Hammer, and it's a
Lucifer.
story. Yeah,
It's a Lucifer.
Lucifer. Yeah,
You know,
um,
yeah, I do Lucifer in a whole of my life. I know Lucifer is a bad person, yeah.
yeah.
But I
Well,
don't.
indeed. So in this book, this is a fictional story about a guy that discovers a comet, and the comet hits the Earth. And then it's about how that changes the earth and the people have to cope. And it sounds like a really fantastic tale, but asteroid, every moment of every day, there is a meteor hitting the earth. Most of them burn up in the atmosphere. The ones that don't burn up in the atmosphere actually land in the ocean, since the ocean covers more than half of the earth. And the ones that do land on land, you don't see the effects of for long because it gets weathered away and grown over. Well, these comets and meteors there's like millions and millions of them of all different sizes orbiting the sun. And, it would be good to find out more about them so that if one is on the path to the Earth, we could do something about it potentially. So that's also kind of another reason to go to the moon, is because it provides a record of all these things that have been passing through the Earth Moon part of the space.
Good, nice. Yeah.
Well, Kanara, yeah, you shouldn't be the only one that has all the fun. So who's next?
Um, I would pick Nicholas.
Oh,
Nicholas.
hello.
Hello, Nicholas.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi. So what's your favorite color?
Black.
Black.
Oh, black. Oh, like me, yeah, Nicholas. Oh no, me, Nicholas. You say me black, Nicholas. Oh.
Okay. What's your favorite shape?
My favorite shape
Uh-huh.
is a square.
Which one?
Is a square.
A square. Okay. So a black square would be like the ultimate best.
Not really, though.
No. Okay, so tell me something about yourself.
I'm a male.
Okay.
Yes.
I live in Muarakarang.
In Jakarta, yes.
Yeah, in Jakarta.
Uh-huh.
I don't have anything else.
Well, would you prefer to go watch a movie or go to a concert?
Watch a movie.
And would you prefer to see like a drama or a thriller?
What kind of thrill? What kind of thrill is
Like a
are you
James
talking about?
Bond or spy movie or something like that?
Thriller. What's a thriller movie?
And if you could go any place in the world to visit, where would you go?
Mhm.
I don't have any places that I want to visit.
Well, okay. If there was any place in the world that you wanted to avoid, where would that be?
Any public places.
Okay, so if somebody offered you a trip to go on a 3-day trip around the earth for 3 days, would you consider taking it?
I mean, I think I would consider.
Nicholas. Okay.
Okay, why don't you ask me a question about any
Uh,
topic?
Mhm.
Let me think of a question. Do you like your job?
Do I like what?
Do you like your job?
Oh, do I like my job?
Yes.
I do sometimes. You know, sometimes it's interesting, sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's exciting, sometimes it's stressful, sometimes it's boring. I imagine it's very much like school in some ways.
That's interesting.
And so, Nicholas, what job do you want to have?
I think I want to be a programmer, I think,
Do you
Uh,
program
but I'm not
now?
either. No.
Have you thought about that's the other book I have on my desk. So I don't know if you know of an English author called Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. He wrote about
Oh,
this Sherlock Holmes who, you know, solved mysteries and things. But this is about a computer language called Pascal that used to be very popular in like the early 90s. But anyway, I thought it was an interesting book. But well, Nicholas, who's the lucky person?
uh, lucky person is called Verita.
Excellent.
Good.
And
Hello.
hello.
Okay, Felita. Okay. Yeah, Felita.
Well, very good. So nice to meet you. I have a question. Would you prefer ice cream or a cookie?
Ice cream.
And are there many ice cream spots in Jakarta?
Not that I know of. Honestly, in this pandemic time, I have not gone outside a lot, so I have no idea what the outside world is like.
Do you get ice cream at home?
Not specifically.
Have you ever seen an ice cream maker?
I think I have in like those malls, you know, the rolled up ice creams, something like that.
I remember as a child, we used to have an ice cream maker at home. It was a big tub, and you had like this little metal canister inside where you would mix the cream and the sugar and everything. And it would have like a little blade that would turn around. And then you would fill up this outside tub with ice, and you would put salt in the ice because apparently that would make it colder. And then after a couple of hours, you would turn it off, open up the can, and you'd have ice cream inside. It was kind of neat. Do they have something like that in Indonesia? No.
Well, not that I know of.
because I've never really seen anyone have that sort of a device here.
That's so what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Chocolate.
Chocolate. Chocolate with walnuts, I think would be near the top of my list. So, well, tell me something interesting about yourself.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I'm very interesting. But I feel like the most interesting thing that is happening currently is like I'm trying to teach my hand to be ambidextrous. So I'm training my left hand to do basic things.
Like catch a ball and to write and that type of thing?
Yeah. Currently, my setup is I've put my mouse on the left side of my hand.
That's amazing. You know, along the same lines, I actually had a foot mouse at one time. You put on your foot and you could actually move it around. So that way you could keep your hands on the keyboard and use the foot to move the mouse.
I didn't even know that existed.
It wasn't too popular. I don't see too many of them. There's only saw one choice, but it's kind of a neat idea.
Yeah. Mm.
How long have you been working at becoming ambidextrous?
Since like in the middle of quarantine, probably 2021.
Well, that's awesome. So would you take a trip to space if it was safe and affordable?
If it's guaranteed that it's gonna be safe, maybe. I feel like the possibilities are kind of endless in space. So I'm not gonna be like 100% sure, like, oh, I'm gonna go. But like, it seems interesting to like explore the world more because I'm a person who likes like sightseeing and traveling. So the prospect of going to space is very interesting.
That is awesome. And did you have a question for me? Or brother, what is your question for me?
How did you get into like space and stuff? Was it like from childhood?
Yes, whenever I was in school, which was like in the 1980s and 1990s, we used to watch Star Trek, and we used to dream of two things: computers and space. And at that time, the internet wasn't here, so we could not have a call like this. In fact, in the 1980s and 1990s, just to call over to the next city on the telephone, which by the way, telephones were actually fixed inside the house. You didn't call people, you called places. And the phones did not move around the house. They were like stuck in one spot of the house. So just to call to people in the next city, they would charge you per minute for that call. And now, you know, like 25 years later, you and I can be talking halfway around the world for essentially free. It's really amazing. But so I was interested in space and computers. And so whenever I got out of high school and started college, anybody who knew anything about computers was able to get a job at an internet service provider or web development firm. And once you get that first job, then you have experience and you know people, and you get the next job in the same field, and you get the next job in the same field. And so my interest in space kind of went to sleep for a while. And then there's this company called SpaceX that started doing reusable rockets and started bringing down the price of sending people to space and sending things to space. And that got me interested again. And so that's my story.
Good.
Well,
nice.
Felicia, who's the lucky person?
Madeline.
Madeline.
Okay. Hello, Madeline. Madeline, yeah.
Yes, hello, sir.
Yeah, okay. Madeline, you get a turn to have a conversation with Sir Nathan, yeah?
I have a couple of questions for you, Madeline. Would you prefer to take a car or a bus to some place?
Car.
And would it be a small car or a big car?
I want to travel with my family, so maybe a big car.
That makes sense. Um, and if you could visit any island in the world, which island would you want to visit?
Um, Bali.
Bali. Hmm. And if you could, would you take a trip to the moon?
If it uh s- if it's safe, I I maybe would.
And what's your question for me?
Yeah, Madeline, do you have any questions about Saranachan? Something related to the information about his hometown or something related to his life or what is profession or something? Yeah, it's a free questions. Yeah, don't be afraid to make questions.
It could even be about the weather.
Sorry.
Oh, the question could be about anything, but ask a question that I can answer.
Mm. Mm.
Do you believe alien is real?
Well, I think there's several aspects to this. One aspect is, do I believe there's life somewhere else in the universe besides Earth? And it seems to me that there's so much of the universe we haven't explored, and it's so big. And lots of it seems similar in many ways to what we see on Earth, that I would have trouble believing that there wasn't some life someplace else. But when you start talking about flying saucers and aliens visiting the Earth, likewise, the distances between all the stars seem so big. Uh, it seems like there would be better proof that they were here than what we've seen. So I think a lot of the alien sightings are probably misinterpretations of something else. That's kind of my working theory right now.
Okay, great.
Well, Madeline, who's the lucky person?
Nadia.
Okay, Nadia. Oh, Nadia.
Oh.
Hello. So Nadia, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
My full name is Nadia Sananza, and I am 14 years old. My birthday is on the 1st of November.
Your birthday is coming up. It's like
Yeah.
just what, 6 days, 7 days away.
Yes. And my hobbies are drawing and reading books.
Did you say drawing?
Yes.
Do you draw with like pencil or pen or both?
I draw with pencil.
That's awesome. And what kind of things do you draw?
Random things.
And if you had a chance to go to the moon and draw a picture, what do you think you would draw a picture of from there?
I'm sorry?
If you went on a field trip to the moon for a class, let's say, and you were on the moon and you had a view that looked very similar to my background here, where you're actually on the moon and you see the Earth up there in the little bitty, like a little bitty sphere. Um, you know, how would it be how would you feel about being on the moon? And what would you, if you had a chance to draw a picture while standing there, what do you think you would draw a picture of?
Oh,
Well, as a simpler question, if you could take such a trip, would you?
oh no, actually.
But um, and let's see, what's your question for me?
Uh, what is it about space that interests you?
The possibilities of us having a bigger perspective. Sometimes when we focus on our city, our street, we let little things kind of um, cloud our ability to work together. And when we start thinking of kind of humanity in this vast cosmos with all this opportunity in front of it, then even big differences between peoples and religions and countries maybe seem a lot smaller. And maybe we together can go out there and be able to achieve more than any of us could imagine achieving by ourselves. So just the possibility of all this opportunity for humanity. Well, Nadia, which classmate should we talk to next?
Robert?
Robert. You know, Robert's actually my middle name, so.
Oh yeah,
So
Robert is our no. Okay.
So Robert, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I live in Jakarta. My hobbies are I play sports and I play online games. What else do you want to know?
What kind of sports do you play?
Soccer.
Um,
Occasionally play basketball.
if the World Cup was held on the moon and you were on one of the competing teams, would you go and play soccer on the moon?
Yeah, that would actually be interesting.
What do you think would be different about it?
Yeah, instead of the ball falling to the ground, I think the ball would float, and we'd have a harder time catching it.
Do you think you would be playing soccer in a huge facility in normal soccer clothes? Or would you prefer to be playing in spacesuits out in the vacuum on the moon? Which would you prefer?
I think playing out in a vacuum seems fun.
Um, and what's your question for me?
I don't know.
You may ask something about his hobbies or any kinds of questions, not based on NASA's project, but any kind of questions. This is the speaking activity, so Robert, please, yeah, give one question for Sir Nathan. Okay?
Okay. What kind of food do you like to eat?
Yes, good questions.
Well, I actually like to eat all sorts of foods, but there is a very popular types of food here in Houston. One's called barbecue. So with barbecue, you know, you cook the meat over a grill, and you could cook beef or pork or chicken, and you usually have some type of tomato-based sweet sauce you put on it while you're cooking it. And another food that's very popular here is called Tex-Mex food. Now, Tex-Mex is taking the Tex from Texas and the Mex from Mexico. So it's like Mexican food that we've kind of adapted and changed a little bit. And so we call it Tex-Mex food. So that's my, and Mexico is just to the south of us. In fact, at one point in time, Texas used to be part of Mexico, way back in the 1800s. And then some Americans had settled in Texas, and there was a revolution, and then Texas became its own country and then joined the United States. So sort of the little historical lesson about my part of the world. But Robert, who should we hear from next?
Is Wesley here?
Wesley?
Okay, just interrupt. Maybe this is the last students for Robert to choose the one, yeah, because the class will be over in 5 minutes more, yeah. So this okay, yeah, Robert, you may point one student. So this is the last from today's discussion. Okay, Robert.
Sounds good.
Wes
Yeah.
Hi, Wesley. Could you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Hello, Wesley. Wesley just asked me to go to the toilet, yeah. Permission.
Oh, okay, so that won't work. That won't work.
Yeah, maybe.
But maybe we could just open it up, and if anybody has a question for me or anything, we could just leave it there.
Yeah, my lovely students, yeah, this is the free question for you to ask to Sir Nathan. Yeah, we still have 5 minutes less, so it's okay. Yeah, please do something, yeah, or pass questions based on the next project on another kinds of topics. Yeah, I give you time. Maybe Anthony. Yeah, Anthony, do you want to ask some question, Anthony, or Chelsea, Nicolette? Hello? Yeah, any students you want to ask? Joe, Jason?
Or you can even type them in the chat room. That could be a possibility too. If you want to type a question, if you didn't feel like speaking.
Yeah.
So, well.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm amazed at how well everybody's speaking, and you know how thoughtful the discussions have been. So it's been a real pleasure of mine to get to talk to you. So thank you so much for letting me come visit.
Yeah, thank you so much for this morning. You had a great time with my student Joanna, Erin, Kainara, Nicolas, Felita, Madeline, Nadia, Robert, and the last Leslie, but basic gut problem. So that's really nice for my students to have a conversation with you. That's the way for them to have their activity to speak with the native. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're from Texas. It means that something we get more from you. Thank you for coming with us for this morning. I do hope that this is not for the last time you come to my class. Yeah, maybe next time I will invite you for another session for different students. Yeah, they are now in grade 10. Yeah, it's the first year of the senior high school. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining. Before we're going to leave this room, I need one of my students will lead the closing prayer. Okay, Joanna, whose turn, Joanna? The opening by
Olivia.
Okay, Olivia, it's time for you to lead the closing prayer, Olive.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Lead the prayer now.
Friends, let's pray. Thank you, God, for being here with us today. Now we're going to start our class for the rest of the day. I hope Sir Nathan will have a good night's rest, and I hope God will take care of us for today. Thank you.
Okay. Before we are going to leave, please turn on the camera. Maybe I need Joanna. Please take one more photo for us. Please do a hearty reaction, yeah, in your photo. hearty reactions. Yeah, that's special for Sir Nathan for this morning. Yeah, hearty reaction. Just okay. Okay, yeah, just let yeah. Okay, Jana.
Sorry, sir. Maybe
Yeah.
Nadia can take the photo because I have some kind of trouble with my laptop right now. Nadia, take the photo.
Hearty reaction for Sir Nathan. Yeah.
Okay, udah, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Say thank you to Sir Nathan, and now after that you're going to leave this Zoom. Yeah, my lovely students.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
sir.
Okay. Yeah, you really. Okay. Yes. Yes,
Sir,
Eric.
can
Okay.
I
Okay, no
ask
worries.
one more question? Mr. Nathan, how did people figure out that there are other planets besides the Earth?
Yeah. So we have the planets that are orbiting the same sun as ours, and they appear very bright in the sky. So, you got like Venus and Mercury, Mars and Jupiter. We can see those very well. But then other stars are much, much farther away. And to be able to see planets around them like directly would be equivalent to trying to see a firefly next to a huge, kind of searchlight or light. So it would be very difficult to see. But we found a couple of techniques to be able to detect these planets. One is by, the planets don't actually orbit the sun. Instead, the planets and the sun both orbit the center of mass of the system. And so as the bigger planets go around the sun actually moves in the opposite direction. And so other stars were able to actually measure their movement as these big planets go around. And from that, we can deduce the size, how far away the planets are, and lots of other things like that. Another way that might be a little bit more intuitive to understand is this idea of transit. So whenever you have like a light and something goes in front of that light, it's going to cause the amount of light you get from it to reduce a little bit. So we have some satellites in orbit above the atmosphere. We don't have to worry about the air that are looking at these stars continuously. And we're able to see the dimming and brighting of these stars as these planets go in front of them. So that's been our way of detecting. Those are the two most significant ways that we've detected planets around other stars.
Okay, that's it. That question just popped out of my mind. So, and I
Well,
thought,
another interesting thing is in about 30 years from now, we're hoping to send a very, very small probe to Alpha Centauri that'll take like 20 years to get there. And we're hoping that as it zooms through the Alpha Centauri system, the closest star to Earth, that we'll be able to get a very small and quick photo of it. So that could be interesting. That'd be about 50 years from now when you're 65.
oh yeah, right. Okay, that's it. I'm going to leave the Zoom. Thank
But
you, Sir
thank
John.
you,
Yeah, thank you,
thank you,
Eric.
Aaron.
Are there any questions you might want to ask me?
Well, I just really appreciate the discussion, and it was such a pleasure to get to meet you.
Oh yeah. Okay. Good night. Is it? Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so Nathan, if you don't mind, you just put the name of our school, yeah, on the chat box I have written down.
Okay.
SMA. Yeah, maybe you just put on your recording or something that you're going to put. So this is, yeah, if someday you need to have some conversation, some interview with personal with the students, just let me know. I have some of my students here. You can ask them in private, personally. No worries. Yeah.
That sounds awesome. I have 1100 more days to go through, so I'll need your help for sure.
No worries, because in Indonesia, in my school, especially in Indonesia, we have the students in a different programs, yeah, social program and science program. So the students, when they start learning in senior high school, they have the placement test, yeah, placement test for them to know about their ability in social or in science, yeah. So today you have the class with my science students, yeah. So yeah, related to the things they learn from school. Okay, great time to see you, and I do hope to you have a rest time and good night for you, because you are going to sleep, and I'm still continue my study, my class, 2 more sessions from now, and I'm so happy. Yeah. So maybe someday you can come to my class with your topics. Yeah, sir,
And
noted.
that would be fantastic. And you have a good rest of your day, and I look forward
Thank
to a
you
good
so much.
night.
Thank you so much, and my regards to your family in Texas. Yeah, let me have. Okay, okay. Thank you so much, and God bless you all. See you. Yeah, bye.
Okay, bye bye.